The clock in Sunrise, Florida had barely struck zero when Aleksander Barkov raised hockey's heaviest trophy above his head, and a worldwide audience blinked in surprise. The Florida Panthers, once written off as casual cup tourists, were champions, yet the still-centered man who led them there hardly looked like the NHL's newest overlord. No spotlight-grabbing celebrations, no chest-pounding speeches, just a relieved smile from the first Finland-born captain ever to hoist the Stanley Cup. But that silver-plated exclamation point was only the surface. Underneath lay a blueprint years in the making, a quiet takeover hidden behind the NHL's loudest headlines. And what you're about to learn will change how you watch every face-off from now on. Every minute of this deep dive took hours to research, write, and polish. So if you're enjoying the grind behind the shine, hit subscribe and keep the story engine running. Ask the average fan to rattle off the league's supernovas, and you'll get the usual roll call. McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, Matthews, Barkov, maybe, if the list is long enough. Yet awards voters keep sliding the Selke trophy toward him, and analytics models spit out a truth the highlight reels bury. Over the past 5 seasons, no NHL forward has driven a higher share of on-ice expected goals while starting more than half his shifts in the defensive zone. So why does Barky float under radar? Partly market size, partly the fact that shutdown brilliance rarely comes with neon lights. But the biggest reason is simpler. He makes impossible tasks look routine. The more effortless the domination, the harder it is to notice. And if that sounds extraordinary, wait until you meet the teenage version who juggled 2 cultures and a looming NHL draft like side quests. Aleksander Alexandrovich Barkov was born in Tampere, Finland, to a Russian father who'd ended his own pro career there. Dual heritage meant double pressure, Russian hockey folklore swirling at home, Finnish stoicism drilled at the rink. By 16, he was the youngest regular in Finland's top league since the 1970s, facing grown men while memorizing biology terms for high school finals. Scouts whispered about the kid with X-ray eyes, who always knew where the puck would bounce next. Draft day 2013, Florida snatched him 2nd overall and flew him to a subtropical climate he'd only seen on postcards. Cameras searched for excitement. The teenager simply nodded, already plotting which weakness to delete first. That chill demeanor would soon become every goalie's worst omen. Yet as the NHL lights flipped on, Barkov learned the hard way that talent alone doesn't survive an 82-game knife fight. Year 1 saw glimpses, silky hands, deceptive burst, but heavy legs by March. Coaches shuffled line mates. Barkov countered by studying tape until sunrise. Under Joel Quenneville, he reframed the job description. Score when invited, deny invitations everywhere else. Face-off cheat codes followed. Then his first Selke in 2021, proof that a 25-year-old could already out Bergeron. Behind closed doors, he set an even thornier goal: deliver a cup to a franchise that had none. Awards look nice on mantles, banners look better in rafters. He'd need an entire roster subscribed to that vision, and destiny offered a perfect test: the wild 2023-24 season. Florida's identity that spring was simple: throttle exits, cycle nightmares, and unleash Sergei Bobrovsky whenever chaos broke loose. Barkov piloted it all from the high slot, posting an NHL record 34 takeaways in a single postseason while shadowing Connor McDavid across 7 feral games. Game 7, 3rd period. Edmonton's top line weaves a scissor play at the blue line. Barkov fakes a double team on McDavid, lures Evan Bouchard into thinking he's open, then pickpockets the defenseman so cleanly the broadcast camera loses the puck. 12 seconds later, the red light flickers behind Stuart Skinner. Analysts called it luck, insiders called it inevitable. By midnight, the cup belonged to South Florida. Barkov's only quote: "We'll enjoy this tomorrow. Tonight I need sleep." Humble? Sure. But every rival GM heard the real message: figure out how to stop me, or plan a longer summer. Still, his magician's toolkit remained a mystery to most fans, until slow motion replays exposed the Jedi mind tricks hiding in plain sight. Picture a harmless neutral zone regroup. The opposing winger turns up ice, assumes a 3-foot cushion. In that heartbeat, Barkov does the unthinkable. He opens the lane wider, selling vulnerability. The winger takes the bait, extends the puck, and snap! A 6'3" shadow erases possession with a single poke. Former Red Wing Pavel Datsyuk made that maneuver famous. Barkov turned it into a nightly routine. One clip against the Rangers went viral. Barkov is F1 on the forecheck, yet somehow recovers, becomes F3, intercepts a diagonal exit pass, then threads a blind backhand feed that results in a Sam Reinhart tap in. The sequence broke analytics trackers. How can a player be in 3 zones at once? Coaches now cue that tape in clinics to prove geometry still matters in a sport sprinting toward chaos. And those surgical steals feed an even quieter superpower, influence that stretches beyond stat sheets and into hospital wards. Teammates joke that Barkov speaks louder with dinner receipts than press conferences. Rookies tell the same story. They show up at a Boca Raton tailor for one suit fitting, the bills prepaid. Children at Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital know him as the giant who brings iPads and marathons Mario Kart until every IV beep becomes background noise. That devotion earned him the 2025 King Clancy Trophy, making him the first player to win leadership and defensive awards in the same week. Yet generosity never shields stars from rumor season. Florida's Cup window, cap crunch, and aging roster sparked whispers that Barkov might waive his no-move clause for a mega market payday. The captain's response? A shrug and a 56.5% face-off clip, because nothing kills gossip like winning draws in June. But the money math wasn't going away, and neither were the anonymous sources stoking headlines. Back in 2021, Barkov signed an 8-year, $80 million extension, securing both his prime and a team-friendly cap hit that now reads like daylight robbery. Each successive superstar contract, McKinnon's $12.6 million, Matthews' $13.25 million, made Barkov's $10 million look antique. Rival executives circled. Could Florida keep the band together with Tkachuk, Reinhart, Bobrovsky's armor-plated salary, and a blue line due raises? Bloggers cooked up trade machines, shipping Barkov to original 6 cities thirsting for a two-way savior. Sources close to the player laughed. Barkov's full no-move clause might as well be etched in titanium. His only request to management? Keep us competitive. The rest is noise. That clarity set the stage for a spite tour nobody predicted, the 2024-25 Encore. Opponents hoped for a cup hangover. Florida answered with a 112-point encore. Barkov missed 15 games to a mild groin tweak, yet still rattled off 71 points in 67 games, anchored penalty kills, quarterbacked power play bumper spots, and logged 2015 a night. Awards night 2025 turned into a Barkov highlight reel. Third Selke, first dual Selke Clancy season in NHL history. Sports writers who once dubbed him underrated scrambled for stronger adjectives. Meanwhile, his Panthers bulldozed to a third straight Stanley Cup final, chasing a mini dynasty unseen since the Blackhawks era. And the scariest part for every rival center, Barkov turns 30 this September, still younger than prime year Datsyuk and Bergeron when they collected their silverware. If greatness comes in waves, Barkov's still on the rising tide. So what is the Barkov effect? It's the idea that total domination doesn't require volume knob swagger, just relentless, almost boring, perfection in the details that decide playoff series. It's a reminder that highlight clips start long before cameras notice, in the quiet reads that spring a breakout or suffocate one. And it's proof that hockey's loudest moments sometimes belong to the quietest leaders. The rest of the league is officially on notice. Ignore the invisible giant at your peril, because greatness isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just the last man standing in June. Want more stories hiding in plain sight? Smash that subscribe button now, because the next dynasty might already be unfolding while nobody's looking.